This is episode...
That's the number. That works. We're up to-
episode 3 of Back to Me.
We are your hosts, Lisa and Katie.
I think I messed that up.
Do you want to do it again, or do you happy with
No.
stuff
People
like
need
that?
to know that I'm not perfect.
This us not speaking to each other before we start the podcast is it gives me anxiety. It gives me, every time I go to speak, I'm like, no, we'll talk about that in the
So you
podcast.
to the podcast.
Yes.
And then we forget everything that we saved for the
So
podcast.
what I should do is take notes about what I want to talk about.
I think we said that every week.
We have.
And yeah, we're yet to do that.
We couldn't get parked this morning.
There's a cheerleader convention or something. Convention?
What people don't understand is this is our time. So there should be local spaces kept when those events are on. It's rude.
Do we not want to welcome outsiders into our town?
Rude.
Rude. It's very rude.
Rude when I had to drive about for 15 minutes trying to get a space. Rude. But it got me thinking about things that I'm so glad I don't have to do anymore. Because I'm really, I'm not done. You're never done parenting. But my children are, when this goes out, my youngest will be 17. Let's face it. We're done. But the things that I had to take them to and drive them to, and
like the cheerleading. Your girls went to netball.
Netball. The worst one I have to say would have been hockey on a Saturday morning.
Raining.
You actually had to get up earlier to get them to school for hockey than you did hockey. That's going to come across beautifully. Hockey. And we actually had to get up earlier for Saturday mornings than school mornings.
I actively discouraged my children from doing team sports for this very reason.
I think that's so wise.
I think it might make me a bad parent, but I'm also rather pleased with myself about
I think
it.
that's brilliant. And we get to do this on a Saturday, which works really perfectly.
I left them in bed because they don't do team sports on a Saturday morning.
When our youngest decided that he was not good at the team sport rugby that he was doing, his daddy was like, no, come on, I'm really done.
Embrace that.
And standing rugby. So yes, happy that that's all over. Saying that, I do fly to where my daughter lives just to watch the netball.
Oh,
does that make me worse?
That makes you a good mummy. No, because you can just fly in, watch, and
yes,
we don't have to do
have we lunch with her afterwards, and it's all great.
What does she play for? Proper
she
team?
plays for uni. Yes, in firsts. You don't mind.
That is
She's very good. She's very sporty. Very, very sporty. So when she was 9, 10 and school would take them to sporting events, I would say, do not bring me home the letter. Don't bring me home the letter of your daughter seems to excel. I think cricket was the one I was like, no, that's me. We are out. I do believe I had numerous days where I ranted, you have other siblings that have to have a life too. So athletics, cricket, but we settled on netball, and then netball went really quite competitive, and she loves it.
Good.
She loves it.
She's going to the Olympics.
There's no netball in the Olympics.
Outrageous.
Think of the things that
There's
are
no netball in the Olympics. There's breakdancing in the Olympics.
And there's
There's volleyball. Is it because the
There's-
Americans don't really play netball? Do Americans play netball?
And Americans do not play netball.
Is that
they
right?
have some universities that play it. Even if we have people who are not here, who are not from UK or Ireland, they will not really know what netball even is.
Oh, well then that's why it's not in the
Australia.
Olympics.
Huge in yes, exactly. Huge in Australia, New Zealand,
And the
huge
UK, and that's it.
in the UK.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Although there's
Commonwealth
quite a
Games.
few other sports in the Olympics that I've never heard of prior to the Olympics.
Like shooting.
Well, we've all heard of shooting.
Is it an Olympic sport?
Yeah, fair. Or handball. What?
I don't know what that is.
Exactly.
But I'm really waiting for you to explain it to me.
I don't understand it. I tried to watch it. There's a smaller ball, and they just seem to throw it at each other and try to get in the goal. Kind of like
goal?
football, but they're
Using their hands.
they're
and not
using their
feet.
hands. Yeah. And so I don't really understand.
Well, I don't. So anyway, but Commonwealth Games. So
Netball's in the Commonwealth Games.
So that was all. Anyway, so anyway, we're so happy to have the breakdancers. What are the cheerleaders?
Did you watch the cheerleader show on Netflix though? It's pretty impressive what they can do.
Oh, it is, yeah, but
not in Antrim, please.
Not taking our car park.
We don't mean that.
We don't.
Thank you for coming to Antrim cheerleader competition.
Torturing us all day.
You got up earlier. You would have got space.
that was the thing. I let myself tons of time and I was still managed to be late. Anyway, I'm working on it. Lateness is a problem for me.
Oh, is that one of your things? I have a bit of a pet peeve about lateness.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, I don't. You get like 2 goes.
2 goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're down 1.
My other daughter says, "Mummy, we'll make time." I'm like, see, that's the thing. We believe we can make time. And I'm like, no, Lara, we have to stop this. We cannot make time. It is impossible.
It's people that are consistently late. Like, you were late, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Things happen. Cheerleaders.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was running a few minutes late,
What
and then the cheerleaders pushed me over the edge.
But it's when there's an event and there's this one person or family that always comes 5 minutes late. I don't understand.
And is that attention seeking?
I don't think so. I think they just are late being, maybe. Well, it probably depends on the people. I just don't understand why they don't set their alarm 5 minutes earlier.
Exactly. But my lateness let you get your hair a little bit more rushy.
Sorry, it's wee bit. It's probably going to get fluffier as the time goes on here, so I could do like
and we start sweating a little.
Yeah. Because, I could do like a little time lapse of my hair drying for you in the comments.
So that was one subject, the cheerleaders. Did you have other subjects? Oh, learning from last week was the subject.
Yes, I think we should stop introducing subjects.
Okay. I'm just going to stop doing that.
We need to come up with pithy little tedious links. Do you remember tedious links on Radio 1?
No.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
It was back in the... Oh, it was years ago, back in the day. Was it Scott Mills? No, was it Chris Moyles?
Oh,
it was Chris Moyles, producer guy. I can't remember his name, sorry. Not that he's watching it. I'm so sorry because he's not watching.
Gets me insulted anyway.
Yeah, the tedious link, like he would start with something completely unrelated to something.
The one that I remember was when they used to take drinks of water and then listen to something that wasn't meant to be an innuendo at all, but that ended up being, when they clipped it, it was very innuendo, and then they had to not like spit the water at each other.
Which is a big trend online now.
Ah.
People like face each... Have you seen the one with the tortillas?
I said no, there's.
I think we should try that.
Oh dear. Have you seen the reels that say that you have a son or say that you have a brother, and there's just like a mum or 20-year-old daughter standing just like cutting carrots or making her lunch, and the boy is like,
yeah,
that's my house.
That's also mine.
That's my house. You just stand there. And the first couple of times started, I was like, do I am into the spot? Like, now I can just make the whole dinner while pretending he gets karate chopped. It's hilarious.
It is. Boys are funny. I love boys. I only have boys.
It was just it was just so different for me.
Oh yeah, because you started with a couple of girls.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just a boy mum. I'm not sure how I would fare as a girl mum.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a
different job.
It's a different job. I messaged my husband one day when our son was very little, and I said, he has now hit his head off the table 5 times. Like, I mean, hello. And my husband's response was, well, it mustn't be sore enough yet. What is that?
Whereas this is a girl, the husband would be scooping her up and giving her all the kisses.
Oh, that was sore. Let's not bang my head off the table again.
Yeah. Boys, no, they don't do that.
They don't do that. I used to, if he was out on his bike and he was wearing his helmet, I just let him keep it on in the house for a while. I'm just much less. It was just...
Give me 5 minutes of peace.
It was just easier. It was just like, yep, just go ahead. Just bang into everything. It's grand. It's grand.
I like that. That's a good idea.
See, now I'm purposely not.
You're not going to introduce the topic.
I'm not doing the tedious link. So
but the tedious link, you see the tedious link worked.
I see, it worked.
Yeah, because you were talking about, don't tedious link. I'm going to tedious link us because you mentioned spitting on each other.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
With the water.
I did.
It's funny.
That.
Yeah, which reminded me. See, now this has become so tedious. We need to become good at this. Of like the online trends.
Mm-hmm.
Ice bucket challenge. Did you do that?
We did the ice bucket challenge.
That was
in the C word.
COVID.
That was in the C word.
Was that triggering you? Is that a triggering word now? You don't want to give it any.
I'm just like, I'm just so over it. And I really.
Almost like it didn't happen in a way now though, isn't it? It didn't.
But I really feel I have PTSD and like, that's terrible. Don't say that, Lisa. That's a terrible thing to say because I don't have PTSD. But I just don't know how we did it.
Latent trauma.
Yeah. Sadness. Maybe it's just sad.
Sad.
Maybe it's just
It was a
absolutely
really sad time.
It was very
Anyway,
sad.
that's why we were all throwing buckets of ice over each other, wasn't it, around
Right
then?
over it, yes. And the trend at the minute is, if you met your younger self, what would you tell her?
Oh. Say yes to the podcast.
Embrace life. Well, there's all those sorts of ones like, tell your younger self that it's all going to be okay. But the ones that I actually find amusing are stop using that mousse on your hair or whatever, or, that blue eyeshadow never worked for you. I like I'm kind of liking.
Did you
more.
see the thing with the Super Bowl where Kendrick Lamar wore flared or like boot cut jeans?
No.
In the halftime show?
Right.
And there's all these memes now of middle-aged women being like, oh, we can wear them again, going out in your flip-flops with them trailing in the puddles. I not remember that.
I do remember that. I had a hard time actually transitioning to skinny jeans. I grew up in bootleg, boot cut.
Oh, I was, how wide can they go?
No, I tell a lie. When I was a teenager, so 80s or
80 years ago.
80s, so like 86 to 90.
Yeah, I was born. The decade I was born. Decade, not year.
We couldn't get the jeans skinny enough, and like they didn't make them skinny enough, so we would buy a pair of skinny jeans, you turned them inside out and you sewed them up on yourself.
Actually, you did
Actually on yourself, and everybody did it. And then when you got to a certain part, where your knee is, and you had to then gradually. Now, why we didn't take these jeans to dressmakers and having people do it professionally?
Or take them off.
Then you took them off. They were sewed, and you put them back on the right way, and they were really tight.
Smart, to be fair.
So then the skinny jeans were out, and it was all wide leg but cut. And then when skinny jeans came back in again, I had a little bit of issue going back.
Did you go back to them?
Yeah, and then I found sure I loved them. And that was my go-to.
And then it's now hard to get out of them again.
And my girls don't let me wear them anymore. Leggings or wide leg jeans.
See, that's the problem. I have boys, they couldn't care less what I wear.
No, so no skinny jeans, yeah. I thought I looked like Tweedledum or Tweedledee because I'm top heavy. And then the skinny legs, I was like, I actually looked like a character. I looked like some sort of comic something or other. But I got over it.
Actually, the last week we were talking about Facebook. You asked me had I heard of Halara, which I had because
No, she's wearing them.
I'm wearing them today. But that has reminded me, tedious link, about the Facebook thing. So you kept saying words to see. Do you want to hear the results of whether?
Do you want to hear the results?
No, they didn't. Oh, there was at one point when Mel Robbins was on. I was like, oh wait, this is Lisa's Instagram reel. So
Lisa's sharing this on her.
Yeah, this is why I'm seeing.
Well, it happened to me, but not on Facebook.
Okay, what did you see?
My friend is getting a new car, and we were talking about cars, and she was talking about a car that I'd never heard of in my life before. I was like, what is this car? And I can't remember what it's Cooper or something. And I was like, who makes this car? She goes, no, it's a new thing. It's a new,
Yeah. I know the name of it, but now I don't.
Cupra?
Something like that.
So I was like, what is the sign? What is the thing on the bonnet thing? And da-da-da. And she was trying to show me and did it. And I was like,
but how was she trying to show you on her phone?
Got home that night. There was an advertisement on the TV when we were watching the news. Then on Monday, I was at a brunch with a friend, and she was showing me a house, blah, blah, blah. We drove past, and there was a Cupra in the driveway.
That's not the same thing.
No, but it is what you said.
Magic.
No, it is.
It's the illusion.
It's the
Bader Meinhof.
Yes, it's that
concept.
I would never have looked at that car in the driveway.
Yeah.
I would never have registered that ad on the TV if she hadn't said it to me.
So thus we have concluded it's a conspiracy theory. Facebook is not listening to us.
No. My Alexa went on the other day during a call.
You must have said a word that sounded like, have you ever had her whisper at you?
No.
If you whisper at her, she whispers back. Do that later.
Oh, that's quite cute.
It is really funny.
That's quite
like, hello. What is it that you wanted? That's not what she says.
But I suppose if you had babies at home,
yeah.
And things like that.
So if you whisper, well, it's probably a setting you turn on, but it's on online. I just find it amusing to do.
But she's not. I love her, but my boys in my house do not love her at all, and they tell her to shut up and things. They're very rude to her.
Billy does have a love-hate relationship with her because he will ask her like 7 times to play X song from ABC album, and she'll play the wrong one, and then he'll do it again and again and again, and then I'll come in and I'll say it, and
Oh, she does it.
she'll do it for me.
The only way to get her to play what you actually want her to play is just hook up your phone to her, and then she'll play the actual album. Rather, because if you say something like "Play the Greatest Showman," that would be what I would be asking her to play. She'll play. I will play songs like The Greatest Showman. I'm like, no, just play The Greatest Showman album for me in order. She doesn't do it.
Oh, she can. You do have to be very specific though. You have to be like,
Cantankerous.
play the Greatest Showman album by various artists on blah 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 blah, and then
It's just cantankerous. What was that? Nobody's breaking in. It's okay. I just think they can hear that.
they probably can't hear that.
Like something's happening with the
That's funny.
cheerleaders. Cheerleaders are getting
Sounded like they dropped each other. To
Yeah.
be fair, all of
Yeah.
them.
So, what did you do for Valentine's?
I went to work, but while at work, my children and my husband turned up with lunch that they had cooked for me
Oh,
and handmade little raspberry centers that they had also handmade for me in heart shapes.
That is just beautiful.
And then when I got home, I had steak for dinner, which is
Yum.
like the best. So
And
yeah,
do you cook the steak?
my husband cooked the steak.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yum.
And my son gave me a card that he had handmade, and my favorite thing about it is the way he words it, to mother. Happy Valentine's.
Yes.
From-
It's a thing. It's a thing.
To mother.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm
We
mother
get
in his
mother.
phone.
We get mother and father,
Yeah.
or yeah. We get mother and father from our son.
Yeah.
Girls don't do it so much.
No,
Yeah.
he calls me mother. I'm in his phone as mother now. So like,
yeah.
and our bank accounts are linked, his account's off mine, and it'll be like, mother transferred you £5.
Yes. I think it's good. They've got a stage where mummy's a bit too,
Mum is fine. They could go with mum,
mum.
but
yeah.
mother.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Follow-up question.
Follow up.
How much would you hate to go out on Valentine's Day?
I have become someone that kind of hates just to go out any day.
Any day?
Too many people. I like a lunch.
And like a lunch, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's.
Couldn't pay me enough money.
I'm with you on that.
So I have an Instagram.
Do you?
I have an Instagram.
Do tell us, what is it?
relationship.coaching.net. And I put up last night a picture of my husband in it, and with dinner, and which he made, and said couldn't pay me enough to go out tonight, but love you very much, blah blah blah. Happy Valentine's. Got so many interactions. So we're like, Lisa, we love the normal. We love it when you're just like, that's I think, yeah. We're not doing fake book. We're not doing any of the fake book. We're couldn't pay me enough to go out on Valentine's night.
It's such a scam.
Maybe lunch or something, but yeah.
But
I was coaching somebody in Saudi Arabia the other day.
no, that's cool.
I'm quite popular over there. That's just the truth.
It's like those when you see the TV adverts that the famous American celebrities have done in the foreign countries. Do you remember in Friends when Joey did like a lipstick one in Japan or something? But that really
yes.
happens, doesn't it? Like real celebrities.
Yeah.
But you're like properly famous and
They don't have Valentine's.
Oh.
So they couldn't even get a card for each other. They didn't make a card. Grown up making cards for each other.
Oh, are they from here?
Yeah.
Oh, so they know what it is then.
Teachers or but I'm quite popular there. It's quite strange. Oof. Well, I did a podcast years ago for a girl whose podcast is very popular there. She used to live in Dubai, so I think that's just where it all came from. But it's mostly people.
Maybe we should take
From
the
the south of
podcast on the
Ireland.
road. Go to Dubai.
Dubai. Now that would be something.
That would be good, wouldn't
I
it?
don't know if they're ready for us in Dubai.
I'm not sure anyone anywhere is ready for us.
So no, we did what did we do yesterday? Nige got me flowers and left the cookbook open at what he's going to make me for dinner, which I thought was very cute. And bottle of prosecco, and that was fine. And then I was working yesterday. I had my PT yesterday.
How are your arms?
Friday's PT. Well, we were doing the front arms last week. Now we did the back arms, ulterior, posterior. She says words to me like I pretend I know what I'm just talking about. But I had sent her the clip of what I was making fun of her about doing that, and she spat her coffee out. She thought it was so funny.
Yeah,
Isn't that excellent?
because she thought that it was funny because the joke wasn't funny, right?
The joke's hilarious. The joke plays. It was Ocean's 11. The joke plays. We'll get into that some later. You know, he says in Ocean's 12 or 13, the nose plays. The nose works. The joke did work brilliantly. She got the joke perfectly.
I honestly have no idea what you've been saying for the past 10 seconds. Noses and jokes and motions to it. There was just a lot of words.
Sorry. Okay.
It did. It played beautifully.
It did play perfectly. It was a good joke.
I kind of still don't get the joke. But let's move on from
Like, you'd call the police if you saw a gun lying in the street.
Wouldn't be like, there's an arms.
Okay. If you were in, oh dear goodness, a shop.
Yes.
And someone came in with a gun.
Yeah.
It's an arms crime.
I mean, is that what you would call it? You would be like 999. Please come to the shop. There's an arms crime underway.
Now look, you got me start laughing again, and then my eyes stop dripping, and then I get into trouble for using a tissue.
No, you usually use a tissue.
Oh, that's
I'll
sorry.
talk when you're using a
That
tissue
was
because then
the
I can zoom in on me.
Other thing we Katie's link. Katie's husband is not from here, and he found it very fascinating that we all keep tissues on our body.
It's true. And when he points it out, you're like, that is a weird thing we do as a society. Do we still do it as a society? Well,
Hello?
You do. Do the younger generation still do? I had this teacher, Mrs. Ripley, when I was primary school, and she wore
Cool
it.
name.
She was so cool. Turns out her name and her husband were the same as my mum and dad's name. Which, that's totally irrelevant point.
Cute. Uh-huh.
But she would wear like really tops with really short, tight sleeves, but she would still manage to shove a tissue up under here. So, you know, she'd be walking around with me. And
Well-
then you always used to have one here. I used to
Oh,
always,
yes, your mummy wouldn't have sent you out of the house
with a
with a
tissue, obviously. That is absolutely the weirdest thing when you think about it
Well,
now.
I actually wouldn't let Jake go to school with it, a pack of tissues in his pocket.
Really?
I'll do that eyes again. Also, I do put a tissue down my bra.
Oh,
and,
because you need the extra padding.
Yes, I do not need the extra padding. And then it's not good putting a tissue down your bra, but then it's the producing it out of your bra.
It's already been used. Oh, I have the dirty tissue in my bra. That's very gross. Absolutely. It's so true. That's something I've never thought about. That is a weird thing we do.
Is it an us thing?
I think it might be.
Is it
I
a
suppose we
cold
can't
weather
judge the whole of America on just my husband's
Is it a cold
thoughts.
weather thing? Am I talking like a dolphin?
Nah, I think you just need to have a tissue in case you need to blow your nose thing, isn't it? So why would we put it in our pockets when we can put it up our sleeves?
Well, I do sometimes if I have leggings, you know, the leggings with the
Yeah.
pockets on the side. That looks gorgeous too.
A tissue
Look
looking
you
all
have,
balled
like a tumor growing on the side of your thigh.
Is it just us? We need to know.
We need to know, people.
Do
We
other
need to
countries do the tissue? What did you say? All over in different parts of their bodies?
bodies? Bad and not hygienic.
No.
It's disgusting.
I think Americans are more inclined to go one tissue bin.
My daddy used to have the like cloth hankies. Now they're disgusting. Yeah. And I'm like, put that in like that would have like, oh, I can't discuss it. Oh,
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
vomit. But
Crusty.
that was a real thing. That was a real thing.
That was a real thing.
Did you really not have that? Your daddy didn't have that?
I don't think my daddy was a cloth hanky guy. I can't remember now.
And then my daddy would like clean his glasses with the same thing.
Oh no, that's not good. Gross. Oh no.
That is gross. That was gross. That's gross. So yeah, let's stop doing that, Lisa. You're not too guilty of it.
No, I was trying to think. I think only in my childhood did I wear tissue up my sleeve. That's
You
such
might
a
need it.
weird thing to not have thought about before.
I was like, even when Billy said it, I was like, that is hilarious.
That makes we are
Tissues
weird.
in the car? Would you just have like a pack of tissues in the car?
I should have. It's a good idea.
We definitely do. We definitely do. What about gross things? I was thinking of tissues that, like, when your children were little,
Oh.
like making them blow your nose on tissue. You don't blow your nose in.
Or
Or-
whenever your teeny tiny baby had a blocked nose and you had to find a way to suck the snot out. I had a husband for that. Mummy never did that one.
Or my mum used to lick the tissue and then like
Oh,
your-
yes. Coming in with the thumb.
I swore I'd never do it to my children. Can't exactly tell if I did ever. What about that licking your hand and like tying your hair down?
I actually might need to do that with mine today.
That is all so gross.
It kind of is. I don't think we do it as much anymore.
What about your children's fingernails and toenails?
I can't embarrass them.
When they were tiny babies, I
Oh
would.
my goodness, my children's fingernails grow at like 100 miles an hour. whatever is going on with them.
Well, it's good. Nice and healthy.
Well, I guess it means they're healthy. Good
I
parenting.
definitely bit my own children's fingernails when they were tiny.
Oh, well, that's what they told you to do, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
the scissors are. But
chop.
that is gross, isn't it?
It is, but when it's your own child,
Mhm.
chid.
Oh,
It's
that's
not-
another one. Tedious link. Things you thought you'd never do to your own children, which then you find yourself doing because some sort of hormones just.
What way you're going? That's what my mother would have said to me.
Or you hear your own mother coming out your mouth when you're speaking to your children. But things you said you would never do to your children, and then you find yourself doing it because something happens when they give them to you. You forget who you were, and you turn into some weird hormone
Mother.
obsessed.
We'll call her mother.
We'll call her mother.
Mother. It's true. But
It has to be done.
it does have to be done. And then that's when you look back and go, oh, my mum was right all those times.
I'm waiting for that with my grown-up children.
For them to do.
Oh, well, I did have a moment. My oldest girl, last Mother's Day. Well, she thinks Mother's Day is her day, and I have to take her out for Mother's Day.
It's wrong.
Just wrong. Because I wouldn't be a mother if it wasn't for her. I would never gonna have
Now that
other
is tedious
children.
links.
I wouldn't gonna have other children or anything. She made me a mother,
Okay.
so I have to take her out.
Kind of like her thinking, but
When she starts earning money and is finished with uni, this will change. But in the meantime, so she likes afternoon tea. I don't. I'm not a lover of afternoon tea.
it's overpriced sandwiches.
Exactly. So for my Mother's Day, she gets to go out for afternoon tea. It's all wrong.
That's a bit wrong.
Just wrong.
Unless you go to the merchant where the afternoon tea comes with cocktails.
It's wrong. It's just spoilt. That's just the bottom line. Okay. But she doesn't live here, so when she comes home, I have.
No, you don't need spoiler. I do. I'm far too soft on my children. But I don't. Yeah.
Interesting.
Billy would be the.
Oh, is he the?
He would be the more disciplinarian one, and I'm the. Oh, you're just so perfect. Do whatever you like.
Well,
And I don't like that about myself, but I can't change it.
But also, I think probably if you said no, then they're like, okay, no, she means business here.
Probably. But I struggle to say no. I
you-
probably need some therapy.
But they're
about
very
this.
good.
They are
children.
good. I think that's why it's in my brain. I can't tell this. He's such a good child. Why would I tell him, oh, we're doing this bad thing he's doing?
Well, that's different. That's different.
And I was like, Billy would be like, it's really unfair that I'm always the bad guy. But I'm like, it is. You're right.
You're right.
And then I continue to just.
It tends to
build
be
him
like
bigger.
that, I think.
It was like that in my house, but the rules were the other way around. My mum would have been more the consistent discipline, but then if your dad told you, you knew you were bad.
Back to me and my story, but we are going to follow up on that because my girls think that our son, they think Jake's spoiled. They
Is he?
think he gets away with far more. And I swore I wouldn't be that mum, that my son didn't get away with more. So anyway, back to me. Out at green tea or afternoon tea,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it's called, with my daughter, and now she's bigger, she's 23. She goes, Mummy, I have to tell you something. I was like, okay, yes. She goes, do you know there was times in my childhood that I really hated you? And I went, okay, tell me more about this. And the particular time was when you used to make me use my knife and fork.
Okay. That's
And we
going
used
to
to
mean so
call
much
it-
worse.
Working.
You and her called it for, or she called it?
She called it.
She
I
called it.
hate when you shout at me for not forking properly. And I'm like, okay, this
Oh,
is good.
no.
And she was 6, so she had no clue what she was saying. So knife and forking, knife and forking.
Knife and forking.
Knife and forking. So I would say you have to use your knife and fork. We're not Americans. You have to use your knife and fork. You have to actually get the food on your plate. You know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And nice eating is a thing for me. Like I would not be with my husband if he was a bad eater.
As in, with his mouth open, or
Or making noise. Ugh. No, can't do it. Or messy. Or like, put your knife and fork down properly, you know? Tell the waiter when you're done.
Yeah, that's something
It's a thing.
is getting a bit lost though these days. I think the
Well-
whole knife and fork together everything. I like that.
Get on your children about that.
Oh yes, ma'am.
So we were in a posh hotel and she said, so I just want to say sorry. I was like, well, I didn't know, so thank you very much. But like you and me, I'm following you. I didn't know, so but thank you. She goes, but what I actually want to say is thank you. And I was like, okay, this is the thing now. So this is when they get to this age, their frontal lobe starts to actually be formed and they start thinking 24 for girls, 25 for boys. Frontal lobe.
Science.
Dun, dun, dun. We didn't do the flashes now.
Well, I didn't think it was life coaching. I thought it was science.
This is what we learn
Sorry.
in life coaching.
Life coaching.
That's what you learn in life coaching. So I was like, this is the time. We've waited my whole life. I waited 23 years for these thank you words.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mummy, because I go to things now and people are really bad. Knife and forkers. That's your word for this.
Knife and fork. No, that's what we're
Knife
going
and
with.
forkers.
Knife and forkers.
Bad with their cutlery. I don't know what. Really bad. She used to go to posh things and people are bad knife and forkers. So she said, thank you, Mummy, for sticking with me. And even though I did hate you, thank you. She didn't actually ever tell me she did.
But but she did say that I hated you in this conversation.
Yes, but she didn't.
Did you have
when
a
she was
panic
little.
that it was going to be something like quite major? Or did you
She
know
just
it was
said-
going to be something kind of cute about porking?
She did say, you know, there were times, I can't remember, I think we were just talking about when she was little or things like that. And she was, oh, what about the time when I absolutely hated you? And I was like, never in your life
Stated.
told me you hated me. And I wouldn't probably let her tell she hated me anyway. So anyway, so that was the whole thing. So knife and forking. So she was very grateful that I taught her that.
That you taught your daughter how to fork.
Don't put that as a clip.
That might be the clip.
Don't put that as a clip. So there you go. But brings me back to something you were saying. Back to you.
Oh, back to me. That's
to you.
unusual.
That's unusual. That's unusual.
What are we saying? My children. Food.
Bad eaters. Wouldn't be married to my husband if he was a bad eater.
They're still on you.
Sorry. You did say something. Well,
We're talking about my son's discipline.
who bad cop, good cop.
Bad cop, good cop.
Yeah, seems to be like that in most houses.
I think it is. I'm definitely the good cop, but I'm actually just, I'm not even copping. I'm just being nice.
So, like, what would they do that they do need to be told off for? Like going to bed on time?
Yeah, you send them to bed and half an hour later they're still running around.
Yeah,
But it's not like the end of the world, is it? That's what I see. I'm like, oh,
end of the world.
they're so cute.
What about like sneaky stuff? Like sneaky is I hate that. Like leave your phone down here and then you find out that the phone's
That hasn't happened yet, but I am preparing. We're not
where?
snooked. It's been snooked.
Snuck,
Snuck.
sneaked.
Sneaked. Snuck.
They sneaked the phone.
They
They snuck away. Go ahead. So what happens if that happened in your house?
My children aren't teenagers yet, but I think it's obviously it's inevitable they'll be teenagers, but these things will start to happen. Haven't really had much of that sort of
Just yet.
snooking yet.
Sneaking.
Or
pushing them. They must have pushed the brownies when they were
of course
little.
they have. I just can't remember. I do actually. I lost my temper once with my first boy. He's like 18 months. Spilled his juice everywhere. I don't know. I think I did it on purpose. And maybe this is what's damaged me because I really yelled at him. And then I just felt so bad about how loudly I'd yelled at him. And I'm not sure I've yelled at him since.
We don't do yelling.
No, yelling is bad. I'm not a yeller at all.
No.
I think I don't know what was wrong with me that day. Because I don't yell at my kids, really.
Because it's okay. Yelling at your son once.
I'm not a big fan of yelling, but
I remember what it was,
so
and
bad.
that was actually back to me. That the girls think that Jake spoiled.
Oh, yes.
And I talking about things that you said you would never do.
Is he?
I think I'm just different now.
But so that plays into the firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn as well. But is your husband softer on the girls than on the boy, Jake? Like, is it more that it's actually you are softer on him, but it's because you've got the mum son thing?
He is. Yes, I would say that he's bad cop, I'm good cop with Jake, and with the girls.
You're
It was the other way around.
Yeah. So is it a girl boy thing rather than a?
Yeah. It was the other way around.
But we are quite often. I'm the second of two,
Yes.
and my sister would tell you that I got it easier when she.
Well, also the girls have been out of the house since he was 13. So it's like having an only child. So of course he gets to go places that the girls would never get to go, and eat things the girls would never get to eat. I think one was that our eldest daughter FaceTimed, and he was sitting there with cream cheese and salmon on a bake. She was like, "What is he actually eating?" And I went, "Cream cheese on a bagel," and she said, Are you having a laugh? And I was like, I know, but when you were in the house with a lot of people, and it was so,
Salmon for 5
exactly,
is
it's
much more expensive than
different
salmon for 3.
exactly. And she was like, so we call them posh BITs. But then we were talking to a friend, and she calls her son the caviar kid. I was like,
My 10-year-old loves caviar.
oh. That was not where I thought that was going to go. Anyway.
No,
But it's a good one, isn't
his
it?
favorite
Caviar
food
kid.
is sushi.
Oh, yeah.
His food? Did I say food or word? His
You did
favorite
say
food
food.
is sushi.
Yeah.
And you see when it comes with like roe eggs all over those little orange things, he is in heaven.
Yes,
So he's
exactly.
10.
He's a caviar
He is a caviar kid.
So there you go. You have 2 caviar kids. I only have 1 caviar kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Also,
Caviar
Jake.
kids.
Also, Jake got far more freedom than the girls got, which is just a thing.
Is it because he's a boy?
Yes, it's absolutely because.
Or is it because you can't be bothered now? You're on child 3.
We do say that. Raised by wolves. Raised by wolves. Like, he doesn't have a job or anything. Like, the girls are really encouraged to have jobs and things at this stage.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, Jake, that seems like an awful lot of hassle. You'll be fine. You're grand.
Is the dinner.
Wash the car. Here's your tenner. Wash the car. So Lisa, like, is he still not working? I'm like, no, because that would mean Daddy and I have to like go and get him and pick him up.
Are you the
Kind of
oldest
been there, done that.
of your siblings?
Now,
middle,
what on
or
earth would make you
young?
think that? Can you not guess? Youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have 3 children. This is just a parenting podcast this today. But people say, oh, you're middle one. I'm like, no, I don't think of her as being middle. It's the girls and then Jake.
You've got an older girl and a younger girl, and then
Jake. And the girls are only
a boy.
15 months apart.
Okay.
So then there's 5 years for Jake.
Poof.
That was tricky.
Oh.
But it was grand. Young person's game. Couldn't think about doing it now. Couldn't think it. That's a 30-year-old game right there.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. I still see double buggies and I get a little sweat on my back.
Yeah, so what, 15 months and a brand new baby? That is, yeah. That was silly.
That was silly. That was just silly. That was just a bit silly, but best thing ever. Because I just don't know my husband would have been back again. But I had to just toss up like that.
So you are the youngest. I'm the youngest.
See, perfect. You don't have the princess thing. You don't come across as princess as I am.
No, I'm not.
Next time we'll talk about the fairies doing jobs for me. These are fairies, clearly. This is fairies.
Fairies.
Fairies doing jobs for me.
So that happens for you a lot.
It
People
does.
do stuff.
But I had something else I did. Okay, we're going to write this down next time. How were you affected this week by the full moon?
Tell me, how was I affected by the full moon, Lisa?
Did you have a good week?
No.
There's how you were affected by the full moon. Kitty doesn't believe in, like, sorry, dab my eyes before I make my announcement. Kitty doesn't believe in, she doesn't believe in it, she does. She says she protests about life coaching and also doesn't believe in any of that stuff. Full moon.
Angel numbers.
11:11.
Wonder, but that's still,
Signs.
you're going to have to explain all that.
Oh, people will know. You're just you.
Is it just me? I'm the only person in the world that doesn't know.
Person in the world that doesn't know. So the full moon did affect you. Does it bother your sleep? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Like, it used to be just a woo-woo thing, but now, like, teachers will tell you, oh, they're all mental this week, and it'll be full moon.
I did not sleep well this week. Actually,
I know. It's the full moon. It's nearly over. You're okay.
Well, though, the experience, I don't know that I sleep well any week. This week felt quite bad anyway. I think it's like perimenopause or something. It's fine.
Okay. I'm a great sleeper.
We'll judge it. Oh, are you?
I'm a great sleeper.
I have very vivid dreams most nights, of which, do you dream? I mean, everyone dreams. Do you remember your dreams?
For like the second, and I think to myself, I should really remember that because that was really fun. Because is that actually a dream or is this a dream and that's our real life? Stay tuned for next week.
No, I do.
So imagine waking up.
I could tell you.
You're like, I'll go on here.
I could
imagine
tell you
waking up and dreaming that you've done a podcast.
Oh, I will do that. I will fully dream the things that are going on. Like my kid was getting some exam results, and in the hour before I'd woken up, I'd gone back to sleep, and in the hour I dreamed getting the results, which were better than the ones he got.
Those ones when you wake up and you're back sleeping. That would be the ones I would only remember.
No, I could tell you every dream I've had this week. And
Really?
I have you know the way people get recurring dreams?
Uh-huh.
People that know me know this. I have a recurring theme. So the
I love
dream is
that.
not the same, but I would say at least 4 of 7 days a week I am dreaming, and it involves packing either to go back to America or to go from America to here. But we have too much stuff to get into the suitcases or into the boxes or whatever it is we're bringing. And so as a consequence, it all just falls apart. We're late for the plane. We end up having to stay at said location for more weeks, and it's stressful.
So it's not the same. It's a different.
It's always a different story, but it's always a variation on the packing and can't fit things in.
See,
and it
that
makes
really
me late.
makes me think that's actually your real life, and this is your
I'm just
and that's what
my
you're
real life. I'm
doing.
somewhere just packing things. Yes. But there'll be different things. Like there was one dream. See, I could tell you it's really boring when people try to tell you their dreams that they think were so
okay.
entertaining.
We're here for
when I'm
this.
doing it. It was like we'd lived in whatever place it was, and my son had tons of Lego, and I couldn't get the Lego in seat. Or it was, so many shit. It's always different things, but it's the same theme.
I got it. So the full moon will affect your dreaming and your sleeping. Now that's all I know. Okay, don't be telling me, don't be asking me something about we're all very water and the moon controls the tides. That's it. That's all I got. We don't.
Well, there
use
is
this on, like,
there is
coaching
probably
land.
some kind of scientific science though,
Science.
not woo woo,
Mm-hmm.
like not woo woo, woo woo, like I don't know, distance of moon. There has to be maybe some kind of different
Yes.
pressure in the air.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So next time, I'll warn you next time.
Yes.
I'll warn you next time.
What can I do about it?
Oh, just be aware and try to be
Is there
kind
an
to yourself.
anti-full moon blanket you can wrap yourself in?
That's a good one. No.
shouldn't
Just
do
be kind to yourself. Prepare, and then you have the full moon, and then you have the new moon. That's the halfway through the month.
Okay.
So it's very exciting.
And what is it? Does it make me sleep better?
I actually don't know too much about that one. I'm just
New moon.
So we have to, and the angel numbers. They're a real thing. So, like, what about when you see like a little robin? Does that not make you happy?
It does make me happy, but it's because I like birds.
Okay.
Because I'm in my 40s now.
We like these things, yes. But like, does that make you think like someone's like this wee like guardian angel looking out for you, or when you see a feather? No, like a wee angel feather.
I think of the opening to or the ending to Forrest Gump.
Oh, well, that's what that is.
No, it's just a feather.
Well, I'm a believer in all that.
No,
All that.
but right. Robins are everywhere. I see them all the time. I have all my life seen them. And so someone dies and a robin appears and I'm like, ooh.
Yes, that's exactly how we are.
But what about all the, 40
They
years
were,
of seeing
they were
them?
other people's robins. Dripping again.
Explain angel numbers to me. I have literally never heard of this before. You started waffling on about it a couple of weeks ago.
So like,
It was our table number. We went out for lunch and our table
Which was
number was
22,
22.
which is my number.
There's only like 10 tables in there, so you have 1 in 10 chance.
And also, if it was 7, 22, 26, same.
11.
Yes.
It's so meant to be.
It was to me.
See,
Exactly.
this is all ties back to the fact, the illusion.
Yeah. I just like to believe it.
Oh, explain the numbers to me.
So 1111 is like, make a wish, angel numbers, 1111.
And I seriously don't even.
Oh
Why are
my
they called
God.
angel numbers?
I don't know, is it 11? I don't know, 11? I don't know
With
why.
kind of legs as angels?
Wings of angels?
Wings. Wings makes more sense than legs.
I don't know why.
Legs of angels.
I don't know. 1111. No, now, if that comes up on your phone now we're in trouble.
Yes. So it's just double numbers? Any double numbers?
Or whatever you decide your numbers are.
Oh, my days. So whatever number I see everywhere, I work in office 2. My number.
See? Half of 22.
No, you see now. You're not
So
making me believe in this anymore.
So I like just to believe because it's just a thing. And it's just like that wee connection to something else that's going on like there. Yeah. It's all going to work out. It's all going to work out.
So it's a positive thing if you see your angel numbers.
Exactly. It's just a little reminder that there's a possibility that we are spiritual beings having human experience. That's quite deep for this, right?
That is quite deep for this, and I'm not opposed to that.
No, but more of a proper.
But a little more proper. Speaking of angel legs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, angel
Okay.
wings, angel
Wings.
legs,
The Bible
Mm-hmm.
talks about angels, and we all have these like beautiful nativity angels, girls in
Mhm.
dresses. Have you seen what real angels actually look like?
Now, when you say real,
Well,
angels look like, has someone
based
really seen an
on
angel?
what the Bible describes.
Oh, right,
them as.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay,
Bible.
okay.
We're
Okay.
talking about the Bible now. This is
I
we've
will
gone all
get
over
it.
the place,
Yeah,
and I'm not
right.
sure.
Current
But
things
it's
in the
like
Bible.
rings of fire and eyeballs, and
Oh.
they don't look anything like these beautiful.
Do you know when I was little, okay, now I'm just going to say with the myth then. The angel numbers.
Angel
I'm staying
numbers.
with myth.
You don't want the fiery wheel eyeballs looking
No,
at you.
I don't want that. And that sounds like something from a movie or something.
But it would explain in the Nativity when it said that the shepherds saw the angels and they were terrified. Maybe it was a giant.
We're sticking with the
spinning wheel of
winged being.
Fire eyeballs.
And my daddy was a minister, and when he felt the need to tell me that when I went to heaven, hopefully, maybe not after this podcast, that I wouldn't be an angel. Like, why would you tell a child that?
Oh no. You will.
Thank you. Thank you. And then I'll come and visit you with my 1111 numbers.
Oh, not your spinning wheels of eyeball fire?
No, but there's something that spinning wheel of eyeball. Like,
There's different angels.
Why
to
am
be
I
fair.
thinking like Venom or something? There's a movie that's definitely, there's a vision coming from me of a
Well, I
movie.
think the Bible was out before Venom.
There's a character in a movie that makes me think of like that.
We'll look it up for next week.
No, we ran on too long last week. It was over and over.
I was bored editing it.
Exactly. When a kid gets bored editing it, you know it's too long.
Yes.
So
We're done.